Hey there, music lovers. Thank you for dropping by and checking out this channel. Let's talk about Dweezil Zappa. He just announced today he's going to be doing a fall tour of the U.S. And if you haven't seen his band, you got to check him out. I don't know if you're a fan of Frank Zappa. I do love Zappa, although I got to be honest, he's got such a huge catalog that, I don't even know half of it. So, Dweezil goes out and plays a bunch of stuff, and I don't even know what it is half the time, but it's really, really good. So go check out that ensemble, because that's really what it is, horns and percussion. And Dweezil is such a great guitar player. He had to go learn his father's part, so it made him a better player. I mean, let's face it, anybody that would be in a Zappa band, whether it was with Frank or with Dweezil, you got to know your shit. I mean, you can't be doing drugs and thinking about what you're going to order for dinner later. You got to be on point. I got to see Zappa Plays Zappa when he was going under that name. Got to see them, I think it's about 3 times. The best was in Nashville at the Cannery Ballroom a number of years ago. Chester Thompson, who used to play with Frank, also played with Genesis live. You may recall Chester. He lives in Nashville, so he made a special guest appearance on drums. That was awesome. I uploaded it to YouTube on this channel, but it got taken down many, many years ago. Sorry about that. The Zappa estate is very tight on their copyrights and all that stuff. They even gave Dweezil shit over using the name Zappa Plays Zappa, which is kind of shocking. The big family feud going on. I heard they recently got down to some serious talks and they were able to work some stuff out. But Dweezil's hitting the road, just as Dweezil Zappa, from what I can tell. And he says that this show is going to have a lot more of the epic stuff, more of the, what he calls, meteor type of compositions, whatever that is. But as I was saying, when it comes to Zappa, I don't care what these guys play. They're such a great band. I don't need to know what they're going to do. I just love to see them do their thing. Are there any bands like that that you can think of where you don't really care what the set list is? You just want to go check them out. You want to go see them play. Let me know who that would be. It kind of got me thinking about set lists and, maybe even knowing in advance what a band is going to play. I remember when I was a kid, I never knew what bands were going to play. There was no way to find out unless you had a friend that went or you read an article. Nowadays, spoilers are so easy to do. Social media, Facebook, somebody could post it, or a YouTube video will show up, and you can go online now and look at the set list for any band. So the surprise has been kind of taken out. Unless you go to opening night, you're bound to find out what bands are going to do. But I was kind of curious to see what you guys think about, do you care about knowing what's in a set list before you go to a show? Does it really, really matter to you? Or do you like to know what they're going to do? Maybe you can plan your piss break, or you can get your beer during this song or that solo. I did a whole video about solos. You can go check that out, about whether or not bands should be doing that kind of stuff. But I remember one time a friend of mine gave me a call and he was like, hey, I got an extra ticket to go see Toto. And it was at the Ryman in Nashville. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll definitely go. So I checked out the set list, and I didn't know a lot of it. I mean, I know some Toto, but not the real deep stuff. So and especially not the new album that they had just put out. And so I took the playlist, I took the set list, turned it into a playlist, and I had about a couple of weeks before the show, so I listened to it, and by the time I got to the show, I knew every single song. And so can't say that I liked every single song, but I did know everything. I felt really good going to the show, and the show was more enjoyable. I came away, with some songs that I had never heard before that I wound up liking, so it was a win-win. So I think there's something to knowing what's going to be played, and there's also something to not knowing. What do you think about that? Are there any bands that you would go see? You don't care what they're going to do. What do you think about Dweezil Zappa and Zappa Plays Zappa and all that stuff? Check the description below. I'll put a link to some really cool Zappa Plays Zappa if I can find it. As a matter of fact, in the descriptions for any of my videos, I try to put some goodies that you can go check out that kind of expand on what I'm talking about. Anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Be sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you later.